All right, today I'm going to teach you how to build an app and get it on your phone in one sitting. This is going to be a huge unlock to your brain to see what is possible with AI. We're not going to use any complicated connections, no APIs, nothing. Just you, your computer, and you're even going to have a little fun doing it. Let's build.
Creating your first AI app. So first, let's go through the roadmap of what we're going to look at today. And it starts with first solving a problem that you already have. That will make this rest of this process be so much easier. And then we're going to feel the problem. And that's why we're picking a problem that you have, so you can kind of build that empathy muscle of being able to understand what users are going through. If you can start with yourself and really understand and sit through that problem and do it enough times, you'll be able to do this for others as well a little bit better. So we're going to start with ourselves, feel that problem, and we're going to take our user on a transformation. This is what really sells your product. Then we're going to go into taste and UI. So we're not going to just make AI slop. We want to have actual taste and look at different UIs to have a really strong app coming out of this. Then we're going to describe this all to AI and make it so that we get a really great prompt. We're going to test it across 6 different tools, pick the best one, and then step 6, put it on our phone. This site was all made with Lovable, link in description. They're sponsoring today's video, so feel free to try it. I think they're one of the best apps out there for MVPs and prototypes and things like that. We're actually going to look at them later today too. All right. So this first section, pick something that actually bugs you. This is a great unlock for finding app ideas. You don't have to create these crazy new innovative things. It's really just, what problem do you have? Do you have this problem daily? Those are really great problems, because if someone's using your app daily, it can be a cheaper app that has more users and that gets more usage. If it's a problem that maybe you only have yearly, that's really hard to get people involved in. So try to find something that you're having today, you have at least once a week. That's a really great starting point to have something that kind of sticks with users. You're not just seeing them jump on, jump off constantly, like TurboTax. TurboTax has to be a little bit more expensive because it's only once a year that you use it. They've been able to grow a huge company, but for you, it could be great just to have something that people want to use every day. It's an easier starting point. All right, so I have done this myself as well. My first app here that I'm going to show you is called Cartful. It's a grocery store app that helped me stop forgetting things at the grocery store. I was always so annoyed when I would have a grocery list and something wouldn't be on there, but maybe like bananas would be at the end of the list, but it was in the beginning of the store. So I created this app. Let's pull up my phone and actually just show it to you. So here's Cartful. And so the purpose of this was to be able to edit the store and have the aisle order that I needed to have. So in the way that I would see the store. So I have Trader Joe's here. That's where I shop most often. I'm able to look at all the aisles in the store that I usually go to, because usually, you have your stores, you have your Kroger, your whatever, Walmart, Costco, the place you usually go for things. And so you're able to kind of like visualize what that would look like, put them in a walking order that you use, and then you can have your list actually take that into account as you're putting things on there. And then so when you go and look at some of your trips in the past, it's actually all in order, and you don't have to like backtrack or forget something at the register. And now you have 5 people behind you. You don't really feel like you can go back. So you just forget about it. And apparently you won't make that entire meal because that one item that you needed isn't there anymore. So that is an example of a problem I was having that I tried to solve with an app. And now I use it all the time. Friends and family are on it. It launched on iOS. You can get it on the App Store as well. So that is a great starting point. Another item that I had that was really bothersome is, when you copy and paste something, so you copy something and you're like between 2 windows, but you need more than one thing on the first window, so you keep going back and forth. I absolutely hated that. So I created an app called CopyCat. And everything out there that I was finding for this type of tool, always whatever you copied went into a cloud for that company. And I really didn't want every single thing that I copy on my computer to be seen by a company. So I built this tool. It's completely private, using local AI models and everything local to your computer. It's no subscription. It's just a one-time purchase fee. But I built this so that I could copy and I could use this myself, because that was the thing that I was experiencing. And now it's grown so much past that And there's many different features that it can do now, but that's how it started was I'm really annoyed by this thing. I'm going to go and solve that thing. And that's where I want you to be today. And there are a lot of different problems that you can solve. I have a couple in here that are kind of interesting, like packed. I feel like I always will be going on a vacation or going on a work trip, and I will need to repack and rethink what I need to pack. But I pretty much pack a lot of the same stuff, like shampoo, conditioner, toothbrush. Why am I making a new list every time I need to do these things? And so depending how often this is a issue for you, if you're a globe trotter or something like that, you might want to have an app that tells you how, like what things you packed last time. You can just auto add them to a list and go through them again. Or I like this one, like a tab graveyard. I have so many different articles that I have in tabs or YouTube videos I want to go back and rewatch later. And instead of eventually, like my browser will have to restart and then they're all gone. So instead of that happening, what if you had a tool that just took anything that met a certain criteria, like an article or a video, and put it to a list and kind of organized it for you? What would that look like? That would probably be pretty helpful for a lot of people because I know I'm not the only one that has a million tabs open, or at least I don't think I am. But today, we're going to be going through an idea called gifted. I think it's hard to have a lot of loved ones or a lot of people you care about and to be able to make each of them feel well loved and that you're thinking about them on a day-to-day basis. Things get busy. You have like maybe an idea for a present you want to give them, but that was 3 months ago and now their birthday is this week and you kind of forgot what that was. So we're going to solve that with an app called Gifted. And so we're going to walk through a little bit of the problem and I want you to try to like feel what that would be like. The guilt involved, maybe think of like some things you could have done better or where you want to place the blame. Like all of these feelings are really helpful when you're trying to get the app going because people will buy based on a feeling. They're not going to buy based on the features that you have. Cloud sync, on all devices. Like people don't care. They want to solve a problem that they're having or that is a big pain point and really hurts them. Really, they can feel it. And so the more you can go to those emotions, the better you're going to be able to position your solution to these people. So really feel this problem. I forgot my mom's birthday. Shit. That sucks. That is so terrible. You love your mom. You always call her on her birthday. You always try to get a thoughtful gift. You send maybe flowers or something. There's something that you want to usually do. But this day, you just had a really rough day, got a flat tire or something, and just completely forgot to reach out. How can we fix that? I think this app called Gifted could, and we're going to create it today, kind of help you get through that. So what do we want this to have? When we think about that feeling we want to evoke from our user, that guilty feeling that we didn't reach out, you didn't send the gift, you forgot the gift you wanted to get. When we have that user's feeling in mind, then we can map all of the different features that we want to have in this app. And it's really easy to say what wouldn't fit. So when you have that kind of North Star, that feeling that you're trying to evoke, it makes it very easy to say yes to things and to say no to things. If it doesn't fit this person's feeling, then we're not going to have it involved in this app. So things like creating a card that you can send that will auto send for you on that day. That'd be a really great way for us to kind of solve that feeling of I forgot to reach out, or have a person and be able to attach different gift ideas to that persona in the app. That way, when the birthday comes around, you're not hunting around and trying to, get something generic from Target. You've had all these ideas, you just click the link and it can help you send that over with the card that you had created ahead of time. So if you had that busy day where you got that flat tire and it was like your mom, your dad, your sister's birthday, you'd be able to rest easy knowing that a reach out did occur, a card that you had made was sent that morning and they received it and said thank you. And then you can follow up when you're a little bit more together and actually have that conversation with them and actually wish them a happy birthday and kind of talk with them a little bit more. But let's get started. Now you felt it. You have some ideas. We got some things going. We understand that feeling sell, and we just use features to kind of explain what's going on. But we are not going to sell an app based on the features that we get. after we feel that kind of negative feeling of forgetting someone's birthday, now we want to show the user what we can do for them. So they're in this negative feeling, they felt this, they want a solution. What are we going to take them from? For this app, we're going to take them from thoughtless to thoughtful. And that is a great transformation journey. That is something that they want to. No one wants to be thoughtless. And if you don't have this, maybe you are thoughtless. You're still in that feeling of, I forgot my mom's birthday. You're feeling thoughtless. Maybe I want to download this and use this so I can be more thoughtful and more intentional in the way that I connect with friends and family. So if you can kind of paint that story and kind of have that transformation, the user will feel like they need your application in order to be a thoughtful person. And so tying that transformation is better than introducing different features and technical jargon of how many megabytes you can upload at what speeds. You will never forget your mom's birthday again. You will be the friend that always remembers to send a gift. That is what you want to be able to have here. So we have the transformation together, and now we need to write it down. But I want to stop here and say that you have already done more than maybe most of Silicon Valley's new tech startups. You have a person that you're targeting. You know that exact problem because you have felt it yourself, and you are able to really look at that person and provide a transformation. So you have already started to create something that other people want. And that sounds simple, but is one of the biggest problems for people when they're getting started building and creating, is building something people actually want. But you have that now because you thought it all through. So now we just have to create it and put it out into the world. And that's what makes AI so helpful right now. It can remove all of those obstacles and make it so that now that you have this product market fit, people call it, you can now create it without having to have that CS background or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that problem, talk about who has it, what that fix should feel like, and then we're going to put that into an AI to be able to put this into a prompt that we'll use for later. So start writing some of this stuff down, start thinking through it, pause the video if you need to, for what you would want people that use Gifted to feel, or whatever app idea you're running through right now in this mini workshop. You have seen AI slop. If you are on LinkedIn, you see it in nearly every post. AI slop is characterized by different gradients, rounded cards. You will see that a lot of the hierarchy is 3 different card buttons. And then there's always an emoji with every line. I don't know what training caused this to happen. I feel like I never really saw that until AI came on the scene and started doing that every time. So I don't know what the training models were doing at that point, but we're not going to have emojis in front of every line. We're not going to have it look like AI slot because we're going to use a tool like Mobbin. So Mobbin is a tool that has basically Airbnb, Uber Eats, like DoorDash, all these huge companies, Amazon, all of their screens are housed in Mobbin. So you can go through and look at how these people or these companies with millions and millions of dollars in designers have decided to create their applications. And so you have all that research backing, all that revenue backing behind these different screens and flows. And you can just go and steal that and use it for your own and shift some things around to make it usable for your app. And so we're going to hop over there now. This is Mobbin. You can see like right here is Grab, which is basically Uber Eats if you are outside the country of the US. Grab is very popular. Substack, like there's all kinds of ones on here that you can go through. Every kind of major app that you could think of is here. And what we're going to do is we're going to look through different ideas for like a gifting flow and what that could look like when you have someone, like you're making a card for them, you pick an amount, we want to be able to have a message. So that's helpful. And I'm going to go ahead and take some screenshots of this. I'm going to be using my app CopyCat. We also have some different screenshot mechanics because another issue that I was always having was that instead of having a Mac screenshot always like goes away, but you can see right here, this will stay right there for me. So I can go ahead and take a few different iPhone screenshots here and they'll all be living right there. So I can just paste them in when I want to later instead of having them constantly just fly away and then clutter my desktop. I don't know why that is how that's working, but Copycat fixes that. I also like this gift details. Like, it looks very put together. This is Uber Eats, and you can see like this present with the balloons is really nice, different detail. I really like that one. Here you can add a card. We want to add cards to the events and the people that we are working with. So let's go ahead and have a card idea here. And then without further than this gifting flow, let's also look up like anniversaries, because we're not just going to do birthdays. Maybe we'll do an anniversary or two. So let's search for that. Okay. I like how you're able to add in the dates here. That's pretty helpful. I like how they did that one in the Etsy one. That one's kind of nice. I feel like we kind of have that one in our first screenshot. I like this, like tracks what's going on. It looks nice. I kind of like the purple, kind of feels like gift giving, warm, because we want like our app with that transformation of thoughtless to thoughtful. We're trying to make connection more easy, more not as thought heavy or as much of a mental load to have a connection with others. So I like this paired app. I feel like it goes to that feel. So now we have all of these over here. All right, so now we have these different app screenshots, the side from Marvin using the Copycat screenshots. I'm going to go into Claude and I'm going to talk to speech to text my prompt. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because when we type, we're so much more formal and we leave so many details out. And so what I would like to do is hop into Claude, and then Copycat also has a speech to text where it's able to listen to you. For this, the reason why I built this feature was because a lot of the time, all of these like Super Whisper and Whisper Flow, they all come in and they take everything you speak and they put in a history of all the things that you've said. And so why would you want everything that you're saying to be included in this company's, I don't know, data? So Copycat's completely local. None of this information goes anywhere. Just a thought, because I know a lot of people will recommend that you go out and you use, because Super Whisper and Whisper Flow are really big ad sponsors for creators. So they'll always recommend you go and you get this kind of stuff, but I don't think they're talking enough about how you're losing all your data. So side tangent, don't worry about that. If you don't care about that, whatever. But what we're going to do now is speech to text a lot of different information for what we want this app to do. So I want to say things like Gifted is an app that helps people be more thoughtful. The user journey is taking someone from thoughtless to thoughtful. Maybe a tagline could be effortlessly thoughtful. And what I need for you to do is to go in, and after I kind of explain to you what this app is going to do, I want you to create a prototype prompt for a MVP prototyping tool like Lovable, Replit, Bolt, whatever kind of tool. I want it to be tool agnostic. And I want you to create this prompt for me. And so what I want this app to be able to do is I want the user to be able to add different people to it. I want those people to be able to have a relationship to the person, like mother, father, partner, friend, coworker, and then maybe a custom option. And for each of those, I want, if you specify father, for there to be a Father's Day reminder for that person. And then in that individual person, the person adds, they can add in birthdays, they can add in gift links. And these gift links is going to be a huge part of this app. So we want each link that goes in there to be potentially an affiliate link to Amazon or another place that offers a kickback for sending business their way. Additionally, we want there to be gifts tied to that person. And then we also want that person to be able to have cards that are connected to certain occasions that are under that person. So we want to be able to build out a birthday card for our mom and our friend. And for that card, once we build it, it can be built months in advance, a year in advance. And then once that occasion comes up, it is auto sent via text message to that individual person. That card is just sent without us having to do anything at all, so that we have that kind of birthday reminder going out immediately. So we have the feature of creating a card, creating an individual that can tie to that, creating gifts that can tie to that individual. So that's what we have. And I'm going to now attach different screenshots that I think will be useful for you to look at how this UI is done. The first screenshot will be of a gift card selection where you're able to specify amounts, specify different messages that go on the card. Next, we'll have a gift details option where you're able to add in the different gift details. You want to have what the gift is, a link if possible, a description, and then what the occasion is for. So it can be tied to that person and to an occasion. We want to have a different card making feature. And so I'm going to add an attachment that shows different cards that you can select, so templates. And then we want to be able to have a kind of really easy way of adding in dates for these occasions. And so I'm adding in a screenshot that goes through how to add the dial, kind of the Apple-esque dial for adding in a date. And then lastly, there's a attachment from this app called Paired. I think it should be used for a lot of the UI look. We want this look to be warm. We are selling connection and thoughtfulness. And so I think that this last app shows that pretty well. Please ask if you have any questions before getting started. Okay, so now we have this gifted lovable prompt. So now I'm going to take this prompt that was generated over here, and we're going to start putting it into 6 different tools. You can just use one. If you are just to use one, I would use Lovable. I use it all the time. I feel like it has takes. We're talking about how AI loves to do very particular mess ups, tells that shows people that you did this through AI. I feel like Lovable avoids a lot of those. And I really like how creative it can be. So it will add a lot of animations. It will do things I didn't really expect it to do, which I think is exciting. Again, in a good way, not, things are upside down and everything's jumbled into one like center Pangea looking thing. But instead, it like really spaces things out well. It makes interesting interactions. So I think Lovable is awesome. But we're going to put it to the test today because I'm going to put through 6 different options. All these tools I have for free besides Lovable, I pay for. But all these tools will let you at least do one generation for free. So we're going to paste this prompt into each one. And then I'm going to come back and show you the outputs for each. So let's see what these are able to do. This, boom, we're doing Lovable. We're going to do VO. I think that this is a pretty good one too. It's tied to Vercel, which if you take one of my app building courses, you'll see how we deploy a lot of these apps to Vercel later on. So you might be interested in this one as well. Let's look at Bolt. And you can see it's really quick just to get these different perspectives on what you should do. We're literally just pasting in these options. This is GitHub Spark. Not a lot of people know about it, but it can be pretty cool. Unable to create Spark. Let's see if we can get that one going. And then Base 44, I haven't used a lot, but it's been able to make some pretty cool like dashboards, and it feels a little more tech forward than some of these other more prototype only builds. All right. So we sent all those off. I will be back when these are done, hopefully momentarily. Okay, so just a quick check-in. Lovable currently isn't giving me too much to look at and to see. VO did ask some questions, kind of how we'd want the stack to look, what kind of features we'd like to have first. Told me I made great choices, which I liked. Bolt is actually showing me what actions are taken, what the plan is, and I'll be able to see it kind of goes through each one of these and kind of have a better gauge on what's going on. And then this is Base 44. It's kind of like nice UI. It's talking about how it's building my gift planning app, cute little emoji, planning some next steps. Okay, so it's kind of giving me a little bit, this is a lot. You got this. And kind of giving different ideas for what it would like to build. A lot of thinking it's doing. Okay. So that's a quick check-in as to how these are working and what they're kind of giving me a look at. All right, so the results are in, and some surprises. So V0 completely lost all the credit. It worked for 7 minutes doing I don't know what, and then ended up needing to again replenish for the pro program once we upgrade. So we're gonna knock that one out. Other ones, Figma Make didn't work and GitHub Spark failed. So what's going on out there, guys? We have 3 more that we can use. We have the Lovable, we have Bolt, and we have Base 44. So let's start with Base 44. So this is what it came up with. This is using the Claude prompt that we have and then the screenshots I got from Mobbin. This is pretty basic, but I was able to come in, add a person. So we can add mom, call them mom. You're able to have little drop downs here. 1900 for mom, add person. Looks like they don't add here. So I tried to add a mom to each of these beforehand. No cards yet. Tough. This one doesn't seem to be working super great. So this was base 44. It was one that finished first. So it is fast, but didn't exactly give us the best results. Next finish was Lovable. And we're starting out already with an onboarding, which is kind of nice. You don't have to just like set it up right away. Let's see like some ones that celebrate, let's put in just a couple. Let's add our first person. Let's add our mom again. Let's just do, I don't like how this I have to type in. I wish it was different. I like that the year is optional because I don't need to say like happy. It could be nice in the future to have like happy 60th, like milestone birthday. So maybe that's nice. But for a lot of people, I don't really know the year that they were born. So that's kind of nice that it's optional here. Okay. Jerry. Hearts and color. Okay. So added mom. Now we're finishing this onboarding, which is kind of nice. That looks great. Okay. So I had already added a mom, but that kind of onboarding took me through a different flow, which was cool. So we have our mom here. We are able to see what they like, their dates, gifting. We can browse ideas. Okay. But it doesn't let us actually add something to her ideas yet. Open someone and paste a link, but it looks like links aren't available here. So something to think about. That didn't fully listen to what we wanted. See if we can write a card. It's for mom. Happy birthday. Love. Read. And then send it. It should be able to send it on her birthday. But now we have a draft card, but it doesn't really look as good as we wanted it to. Okay. Next up, we have Bolt. And Bolt looks pretty good too. We have people, we have mom here, when their birthday is, Mother's Day, what they like, gifts. We're able to add in a link. We're able to search Amazon. That's pretty cool. No cards yet, so look like we'd have to add that later. But overall, pretty interesting. Let's say I want to get my mom a heart necklace. What does this do? Okay. It opens up Amazon. It's kind of cool. Cards. Create a new card. Pick a person. Mom. Oh, wow. So this has... Okay. This is for mom. Are those just cows? Funny. And then I have my name here as Chris, so it actually has that in there. I can put email, send date, ask me first, send every year. That's pretty cool. Send automatically, schedule card. All right. So I have this Mother's Day card going out to my mom. Overall, Bolt knocked this one out of the park so much better than all of these others. So we're going to go with Bolt for the next step here. And looking at what we're doing is next is testing it and putting it on our phones. We just went through kind of tested a few, and now we need to put it in our phone. And this is really simple. So now you have this app that you built. It didn't take us long. We just had a prompt, threw that in. Of course, you're going to get a much better output if you take more time in those steps. Really look at the UI screenshots that you want to have and really tailor it to what you'd like it to be. You're going to get a much better output. But for now, let's go ahead and have this send to my device. I'm going to send it to my iPhone. I'm going to have that come back up here. Here's my phone connecting. And then let's open this. So now we have this gifted app. Looks pretty cool in here. Overall, made in bold. We're able to see kind of how this is looking. Let's go to light mode because I feel like they didn't do that tab too well. Okay. You click this export type of thing, view more, and then add to home screen. So we're going to call this gifted, and we are going to add it in. And then this will start to come right here. And now each and every time I want to use it, I click and it will open it up as an app, and I'm able to add different people, do different things here. And it makes it very easy for us to be able to make the app and throw it onto our phone and use it. This is how I started with my Cartful app. I was able to create that grocery store app, try it out, see what kind of things I wanted, see what things weren't working, and then put all the time and investment into actually building that out with code, using some more intensive, more technical tools that take a little longer, but you're able to test it first with kind of a very relative entry point. All right, so you did it. You built your first app. I hope this was a huge unlock for your brain that now you can just have an idea and build it. That middle scary area of all the different tech, all the different things you need to have, that is over for you. You can now be this innovative person that you've always wanted to be and go out there and make these different things happen for you. So congrats, you did it. Hope you had a little fun along the way too. I do stuff like this all the time. So please like and subscribe if this was useful for you. And if you'd like to get all of these resources that we went over today, the site I walked through, and this builder brief I created based on everything that we worked on, just click the link below. I'll send that to you. And if you liked this and you want to kind of level up to the next level and have an app that you can actually put on the App Store or, the Android store, then go ahead and join my school community called Launch. We do this all day, every day. People are on there building apps and able to launch it into becoming income for themselves. So please join. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in there. And thanks for spending some time with me. Have a good rest of your day.